Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that Apple's tax tussle with the EU isn't going its way and more than $20 billion is at stake. But first up, US jobless claims were reported lower in the seasonally adjusted data, but the actual data actually rose, and by quite a bit. There are now 1.6 million people on these benefits, a 2.1% increase in a week. This may be the very first actual sign of the long-awaited American labour market weakening, although to be fair, these levels are only back to August levels and still far lower than most points in 2023. And China slipped fully into deflation in October, with consumer prices 0.1% lower than in September and 0.2% lower than October a year ago. Neither of these levels are in themselves important, but the trend is. Meanwhile, Chinese producer prices remained 2.6% lower in October from a year ago, although these prices were unchanged from September. Yesterday we noted that Beijing had directed Pingan to rescue Country Garden. Well, investors weren't impressed and trashed the Pingan share price, it falling more than 10% or more than $5 billion on the day's trading. Everyone outside Beijing knows this is a bad idea. In Europe, Apple has lost the latest skirmish over the huge fine a lower court imposed for avoiding taxes in its Irish domicile. At stake is €13 billion. Apple won its first appeal but has now lost its more senior view. International air travel rose strongly in September, up 31% from a year ago, with the Asia-Pacific region up 92%. Of course, that base was very challenged. Compared with September 2019, however, we'll still have some way to go to get back to those levels, but there is a recovery underway. Also rising, and more sharply than the prior week, were container freight rates, which were up 7% last week. Rates out of China to both the US and Europe drove the increase. Bulk cargo rates have started rising again too. The US Treasury 10-year yield is up from yesterday as bond prices slip, now at 4.62% and a rise of 9 basis points. And the price of gold will start today at $1,963 an ounce and up $9 from this time yesterday. And oil prices have recovered a minor 50 US cents overnight to be just under $76 a barrel in the US. The international Brent price is up more, now just on $80 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 59.4 US cents and unchanged from this time yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're up a quarter cent to 92.6 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're a little firmer at 55.5 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 69.3 and up 30 basis points. Get more news about the New Zealand economy from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.